Another amazing episode in the adventures of Ron and Stuff. And today, obviously, we're going to do stuff. This is a combination smoke and carbon monoxide detector. And this particular one, on the back, there is a slot here with pins in it. So it is connected to house power and also connected to every other one in the house. And I have like 12 of these. I think most houses built after 2000 something, the code required that they be house powered and interconnected and that they all had a battery backup, which I can't do it right. This is the battery compartment, and I have the battery out of it. Anyway, why do I get this wrong? How about that? That's good. Anyway, last night watching television at 8:30, 9 o'clock, uh, all of a sudden the alarms went off. I heard these loud beeping all over the house, and it lasted for like 30 seconds, and then it stopped. So it's like, okay, it's got to be a smoke alarm, fire detector thing. But it had stopped, so like, well, what the hell? And I had recently replaced all of the batteries in these things because it had been like 3, 4 years. And went back to television, and I don't know, a couple of minutes later, it did it again. Well, this time we looked all over the house and couldn't find any fire anywhere. Of course, carbon monoxide's invisible. But we have a natural gas fireplace, we have a natural gas stove, we have a natural gas water heater, blah, blah, blah. Couldn't find any fire, smoke anywhere. I have natural gas furnace in the attic. Nope, nothing anywhere. So, went to sit down again, and there it went off. Only this time, my wife, with her excellent hearing, could hear the smoke or fire, she could find the one that was doing that. And it's interesting, even though these are interconnected, only the one that detected the smoke I can never get my eyes open enough. Wow, they must see, they're always like that. Anyway, it was the one, only one was actually sounding fire or smoke. So we found this one up at the top of a stairwell on the top floor of our house, and it was flashing red in this indicator here, indicating that was the one, and the sound was coming out of this one. Okay. So I had to get a big ladder and take this off of its mounting plate. And there's a mounting plate uh, that connects to an electrical box in the ceiling. And this one turns to release it, and it's hard to do. But anyway, I finally got it off, and so I took the battery out of it, and it no alarm sounded because I took this one off. Again, the interesting point was only the one that actually tries to say there's a fire or smoke or carbon monoxide sounded those words. Now, not all of these things do that, and not all of these are interconnected to anything. But anyway, this is a general idea on a smoke alarm. This one, again, has carbon monoxide. Anyway, I don't like adding to the landfill, so Ron took it apart. And this is what you sort of see when you take the top cover off. And I'll deal with the easy part first. This is the I get it right. This is the speaker, okay? And this is a sealed carbon monoxide detector, okay? Here we have the battery compartment. This is a 9-volt battery compartment. And I don't know if you can see it very well, but I'm going to try to show it. Right here, use this hand. Right here, it's got one of the photoelectric infamous black boxes. Now I have the top off, and here is the top. Yep. This slipped down over top. Uh, yep. Now I lost the black piece. This slips down over top of this. And if you can see, and you can't see very well, you can see part of it. Right here is a light emitting something. I don't know if it's LED, probably so, but anyway, again, if you can see it here on the other side is a receiver, light receiver. So light is shined in this box, and it actually targets over here. And you see the detectors over there, and there's actually a little piece here in the middle that keeps the light out of that detector. Okay, and the sides here are open. So the idea of this is a photoelectric detector, not one that uses uranium, which I don't know if they still do that or not. They used to. But anyway, it shines a light in this black box, totally dark box, okay? And if smoke is present, it'll get into that black box, and the particles, if there's enough, starts reflecting that light, so it lights up the entire box, and that receiver over here picks it up and says, uh-oh, uh-oh. Okay, so that's how a photoelectric one works. Now, I took it apart and took the top off because I've had experience that spiders like to crawl up in there and make webs, and I've had smoke detectors that the black box wasn't black on the inside. It had spider webs in it or dust. That's the reason I took the cover off of this one. I wanted to see if there was anything in there that could be causing that. And it's totally black and dark and no dust and no dirt, no nothing. Okay? So in this particular case, that is not the problem. It's something else on this board. And if I try to show you the board again, it's got some components on it. Now, when I typically take a thing apart like this, I start looking for trauma, what I consider trauma. And trauma is like signs of overheating. Again, this thing is attached to 120 volts AC. So it has to take that in and downshift it, convert it to some small voltage since it has a 9-volt battery backup. It's probably in the 9-volt DC range someplace. So that's probably what this big guy here is. So what I look around for is anything's burnt, like the over here is a big resistor, that guy. And if you look real close on the board, you'll see all the components are labeled something. Usually R is resistor and C is capacitor. And anyway, these cans that stick up, and there's the blue one over there, and this big boy, and there's other cans that are sticking up. Usually are all capacitors. And they can fail by, you'll see a bulge on the top, okay? Or the resistors will be burnt. Or some sort of scorching around a connection or signs of trauma. And that is an indication of a baddie. Now, in this case, I don't see anything. And by the way, this is probably the voice announcer chip. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what that is, probably. It's got a piece of software, hardware in there. Anyway, this is the whole thing opened up, and I don't see any trauma, and it surely wasn't full of dust and dirt. It's interesting. The instructions say you're supposed to vacuum or clean around these things monthly. Yeah, sure. Who's going to do that? It's just, if it's not designed to real world, then they tell you to vacuum around it, regularly. Okay, so I'd already changed the battery in this. I don't see any trauma. And the black box, no. not anything. So what can I do with this? I I don't have any diagram, circuit diagram, and they're not going to give it to me. And I don't have all the tools to properly test this components on this thing. So I can tear it all apart and, use the parts and some kind of art piece or something. But other than that, it goes to the landfill. And I don't like that. So this has a warranty, supposedly, and I can't quite get exactly what the warranty is on this particular model. It's got a model number on the back, and if I model number's up here someplace, KD, and it's up over there. Anyway, I get a model number. I try to look it up, and it's very confusing whether it's 5 years, 10 years. By the way, it does say on the back when it was manufactured, and this is 2017. It's now 2022, so it's 5 years old. All right, so I am going to try to contact this one. Is KD, KIDDE, and see if I can get a warranty replacement. Now, they're going to make me jump through hoops, take pictures of it, and when did, show my buying receipt of it and so on. But I'm going to try that. This one was like $45, $50 because it was a carbon monoxide and smoke or fire. Okay, so most people don't normally open them up, and they tell you if you do that, you screwed because you violated warranties or something. But anyway, uh, if you've changed the battery, power is good, and you're getting that intermittent fire issue with no fire around or smoke around, it's a replace, it's throwaway, and I don't like that. But if you can get a warranty replacement, okay, but what are they going to do? They're going to throw it away. I don't know. Anyway, that's stuff to today, and uh, you got to have a smoke detector. Carbon monoxide, yeah, I don't know. I don't have one of these in the garage, and I have had two garage fires over the years. So I'm this time because of this, I'm going to finally put not a interconnected, not a house wired version, but a totally battery powered carbon monoxide smoke detector in the garage. I do have a water heater in here, and it is natural gas. And if there's a source of fire in here or carbon monoxide, it's going to be that water heater. So I'm going to put it over there near there somewhere. I also like the idea of natural gas detectors, leaks. If you have natural gas around it, I mean, the chances of a leak are slim to none, but you don't you regularly see things on TV about gas explosions, houses and everything else. You don't want a leak. But anyway, any place you have a natural gas connections, it's not a bad idea to have a natural gas detector. Sometimes these things just plug into an outlet and they'll sound if they detect a leak. And I don't have them now, but I should. I also have a man cave or an unfinished part of the basement that has no such detector of any type down there. Now there's natural gas there, but just piped through. But it's possible there could be a fire in there and we wouldn't know anything about it because it's not wired to anything. At least if we had something that sounded, my wife in her hearing would hear it. So this is stuff to today. Everybody should have smoke detectors. Carbon monoxide, I think, is a good idea, a combination. 45 bucks, $50. You got to install them, of course. If you don't have existing wiring at the box, then you're going to have to get a battery powered one. But anyway, that's what they look like on the inside. Nothing really special. Made in China, of course. In fact, when they called a warranty line, it was interesting that they gave me, well, we're currently closed because it's Sunday, but called back Monday, but it was also in French, which is weird. They followed it up with not Spanish, but French. So this says, the company name is in USA and all, but either they sell a lot of these in Canada, or perhaps the company is actually a Canadian company. I don't know. I didn't look that up. Anyway, this is, here you go. Yeah, yeah. This is Ron, and I'm gonna do it like this. Yeah, okay. Ron and stuff for the day.